progress takes people. It takes training, it takes curriculum, and when federal funding disappears, we're not trimming excess. We're trimming to the core of our public education system.
Osborne School District's Alexis Aguirre shared the gains her Phoenix students made in learning how to read, thanks to a federally funded program. The money that pays for that program and countless others across the country, a total of $6 billion, was frozen 3 weeks ago by the Trump administration. According to a spokesman, many of the programs, quote, grossly misuse government funds to promote a radical left-wing agenda. School districts and program providers are now figuring out what to do. There is some urgency. School starts Monday in many Valley districts. Marcia Mintz is Chief Executive Officer of Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley, which provides many of those programs. Welcome to Square Off.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So let's give us the overview here. What does Boys and Girls provide to all these districts?
So Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley provides after school, out of school time programming. So when school is out, we are open, whether it's a half day, it's a 4-day week, or really from that 2:30 to 7 p.m. time.
And the programs themselves, this is not glorified daycare. There's some learning going on.
Yes, this is absolutely not childcare. It's really youth development, and it includes a variety of things, whether it's homework help, mentoring, reading, literacy, academics, but also programs that help young people grow and learn through play. I use the example of sometimes it's a cooking class where we're focusing on fractions, because when you're measuring to cook, you're using fractions, and that's how we really supplement what they're learning in the schools.
So will those programs be there in the schools on Monday?
So we have 32 sites across the Valley, and 6 of our sites right now are dependent on 21st century funding that has been frozen. And we have 4 sites in the works for next year's budget, which we know is 0 already. So that's 10 of our sites. So we are committed to finding ways and partnering with the school districts to make sure those programs exist.
So but will they exist on Monday, or will there be a delay as you get the funding together?
So that's what we're working on with each school district partner. And just to be clear, 21st century dollars are very specifically earmarked. The Arizona impact is $24 million for these out of school time programs. And what they really focus on are youth who have been identified by the school who need additional academic support, as well as families who are economically disadvantaged. And the program has to be at no cost to the family. And what we've seen is incredible outcomes of those students who participate in those programs. Their academics increase, but their whole experience, their confidence, their attendance in school. More importantly, the families don't have to worry about childcare or after-school programming, so parents get to keep their jobs.
And for those who think this is just a Phoenix thing, you also have a program way out in Santan Valley.
Yeah, we have 32 sites across the Valley. We're in 4 counties. We're in Kingman. We're in Yuma. We're all over the Valley where families need us most.
So you're close to school districts all over the Valley. How are they coping?
So it's very hard. So these programs particularly focus on Title I school districts where, again, these are high impoverished communities, families at risk. Many of the families we serve are single head of households or families working 2 or 3 jobs. They can't pick up their child after work. They don't work from home. They can't pick them up at 5 o'clock. So we're open till 7 o'clock at night, and we give a hot meal every night during the school year and breakfast and lunch in the summer.
So how is the fundraising going to catch up? Or do you expect the feds to backfill this money sometime soon?
We are hopeful that it will be released. I can tell you the money we're looking at right now was congressionally approved last year.
I'll pause there. This was approved by Congress.
Correct.
And it's being withheld.
It's being withheld at the moment. It's been put on pause, as we've been informed by the feds. We've spoken to the Arizona Department of Education, and they are optimistic those funds will be released because it goes through the state. The funds for this program for the budget that was just approved is 0. So we already know that's not even on the table.
So that's next year.
Yes.
The next school year, you have no money.
Correct.
So you must be fundraising like mad right now.
We are waiting. I'd like to focus on right now and making sure we can open for schools. As you mentioned, some schools actually started this week. A lot of schools are starting from this week for the next month. And I have a lot of faith in this community who comes together to do the right thing for kids. And truthfully, this is not a budget issue. This is a people issue. And this is about people deciding what's important for not only the youth that we serve, but our working families in Arizona. And I have to believe there's a solution together.
Will all the programs open on Monday?
So our
supposed to open.
programs that are supposed to open will open. For the schools that are open, some of the programs that really are at risk don't open till August, so we're waiting to figure out some solutions to that.
Did you see any of this coming, given the plans to shut down the Department of Education, to return more education to the states? Did you see this coming?
No. What I thought was our money could absolutely be at risk next year. We knew with the budget discussions. What we didn't see coming was the hold on funds that are historically released on July 1st, and it's unprecedented that these funds were held back. For the state of Arizona, it's $118 million in funds, and it's not just out of school time or after school. It's tremendous programs that are really helping move the needle. But our programs do show impact, and we'd love to see that funding come through.
And so when the Trump administration says the funding promotes a radical left-wing agenda, what do you say to that?
Well, we're Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley. We are there to serve youth in our community, and we really focus on child development, youth development, best practices across the nation. Our kids come into our clubs to have academic success, healthy lifestyles, have sports and play. They really also get to interact with their peers. We do civics training, learning, and we also do career development. We even help kids as young as 3rd grade explore different career opportunities right here in the Valley to make sure we have a workforce of the future. So that's our program, and that's what we do, as well as being one of the largest hot meal providers for youth.
I do want to point out Attorney General Chris Mays has joined 23 other states in suing the Trump administration to try to free this money. And there were reports this past week that 10 Republican senators are urging Donald Trump to release this money because this matters to their states as well.
Yeah, I can't comment on the lawsuit, but I can tell you that the impact of these funds, even just for our organization, it's about 2,000 kids. Statewide, you're talking, probably 50,000 kids or more. There's 300 programs across the state that are at risk of being shut down. And I do know colleagues not only here in Arizona, but across the state are shutting down programs. And that's going to impact our working families more than anything. And these kids who are already behind will not have the opportunity to catch up.
All right. Marcia Mintz, thanks very much for joining us. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.